Another 2 hours. They did 2 hours back to back. Like, does E not want the show anymore? Are they airing all the episodes to get him out of the way? Oh, God. Alright, well, we got 2 to deal with today, so let's just get this over with. Let's scroll back up. Because I took notes on the first episode tonight, but not the second one, so the second one is just going to be super abbreviated. So it actually starts with them at TV talking about what actually happened in real life as opposed to this scripted reality. If you guys don't know, a few months back, Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella's home got invaded. They walked in and caught one of them. Brie went and called the cops, and when she came back, Bryan had him in a rear naked chokehold, and he's just like, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do anything." So yeah, and then that made TMZ and whatever. Is like, how is this guy who's like injured and he's got barely any strength in his right arm is still able to take down a would-be thief? So I'm not gonna go through like I do most episodes where I just take like the one storyline and go through. I'm just gonna run through these real quick. So, first storyline. Brie and Daniel are invited to the Teen Choice Awards, which I'm surprised they still do this. Because I don't know, I think it's held by Fox, and the winners get a surfboard, and it's just teens screaming at the top of their lungs for nothing. And they invited them to walk the red carpet. And she's like, "I need a new dress," and he's like, "No, you don't." Here's the thing with girls and women. They always think like they a new event, new excuse to wear a new dress. It's like, "Oh, wear an old dress." It's like, I don't want people seeing me in stuff I've already worn. I'm like, well, how about you rent your clothes? So is there any place that you can go to rent a dress and, return it so that way you don't physically own it and it's taking up shelf space? I don't know. It's a girl thing apparently. But their main premise is that Brie and Daniel have joint bank accounts, and she can't spend a whole lot of money, and he's a little anal retentive about her spending money here and there. He's got text alerts apparently. The second story is Eva Marie and Jonathan are moving to California. California. Let's go play Super Mario Brothers 3. And they're doing a road trip with Ariane and oh, fuck, what's your boyfriend's name? Vinny. Yeah, road trips. And they're going from Tampa Bay, Florida to California. That's one end of the map to the other. That's going to go well. So is he here? Apparently, Rosa Mendez is so hard for guys, she's meeting guys on the internet. She's checking out dudes on Instagram and be like, "Hey, you want to go out?" And I'm like, I thought Instagram was for making CPU tone photos of your food, or CPU tone photo or selfies or stuff like that. I don't get Instagram. Like, there's plenty of other applications and stuff that will take photos and post them online. Why do we need just this? I've never gotten Instagram whatsoever. I can post a video. I can post a photo to my Twitter account without any problems, and I can do the same for Facebook. Why do I need Instagram? Or Snapchat. I don't get Snapchat. Like, Snapchat's like, what, you take a photo, you send it to someone, and they can see it for like 5 seconds. And apparently that's what the kids are doing these days. They're, taking photos of their tits and their dicks and sending it to their friends. They're like, "Oh, check out my penis." And then people are going, screenshot, and then they're going and posting it. Oh, God. I'm only fearful it will be cool and like, techie in like 15 years, when we eventually start having kids. It's not going to be good. So, what do I have here? Oh, God, I'm going to sneeze. Hang on. Sorry. So, Ariana and Eve are moving in together, and Eva doesn't know how to drive a truck with a trailer on the back, not realizing when you back up, you jackknife. So I made the note here that this is starting to look like an episode of Canada's Worst Driver. And you don't think that there's these bad drivers? Yeah, go watch a few seasons of that show. It's pretty funny. So let's see. Bella's take their mom out for dinner because she's like 50, doesn't look 50. And she paid for Brie paid for the dinner, which came to $400. And Daniel was like, "Why do I have an alert that says you spent $400 at a restaurant?" It's like, "Oh my God, you're spying on me!" It's like, "Yes, it's our money now." Stephanie calls all the divas together to talk about what's actually happening now, which is the Breast Cancer Awareness Month in the Susan G. Komen Foundation, where they have the middle rope is pink. Everyone's got pink gear, even the heels, which makes no sense, really. I mean, this is kind of shit when it goes back to the Be a Star campaign, and the Bellas were super heels. It's like, join us as we put an end to bullying. And then they start, making fun of Natty and calling her Piggy, going, "Loser!" and making Natty cry. It's like, yeah, totally Be a Star. Oh God, what was it? It's like you got this biggest Be a Star campaign. You're the biggest bully I know. Apologize. That was old CM Punk to Vince McMahon. I believe that's been like 3 years now since that happened. The pipe bombs. Oh yeah, so we go to Raw and it's Summer Rae and Adam Rose versus Fandango and Layla. Hey, everyone, remember when Summer Rae was a face? Because as soon as the season started, when they did the whole Natty and Summer Rae fighting, it's just like, oh, automatically heel again. So is Layla, because we were just fighting over Fandango and fighting with Fandango together. Speaking of which, anyone remember Fandango? Where the fuck has he been since this feud ended? I feel for the guy. So Summer from last episode brought the other dude that Rosa was dating, never texts back, and yeah, Rosa's obviously pissed. She's like, "Oh my God, you told me not to text him." It's like, of course, because I wanted him, because I like him. Rosa brings up chicks before dicks. I'm like, is that a thing? I know there's bros before hoes, but there's actually chicks before dicks. What was that? It was in the AVGN movie. I don't know. It was chicks before dicks? I don't know. It was a reverse. It was like nerds before girls or something. I can't remember. I only watched the movie once. Let's see. Everyone goes to dinner and Bree's complaining about them spending money. So they're on the road and for the move, and Jonathan is like, "Hey, we have an itinerary. Here's your folders. 10 a.m. be here." I'm like, God, just go with the flow. Road trips are not supposed to be a schedule. It's like you drive as long as you can. If you see something cool, you pull over. You gotta pee. You pull over, you pee. Road trips do not have to be an itinerary. And when you make them an itinerary, it's never fun. I've never done that in my entire life. That's not how I lead road trips. Oh yeah, smart move. It's like, oh, let's throw some stuff down to the trailer. You'll feel better. They're throwing boxes off a third-story apartment. Now, there's nothing fragile in there, but still, he throws the freaking box spring of their bed off. It's like, that's ruined. 3 stories gonna crack the shit out of that. I hope you have, buying a new bed. So Nikki buys a flower dress for the Teen Choice Awards for Brie so that she doesn't so Daniel doesn't get an alert. We're not even 10 minutes into the road trip, and Ariana's already bugging the hell out of me with her stupid singing. Then they're not even out of Florida, I say. And I kick that bitch to the curb and just be like, "Sing one more note. Your ass is going to the curb." And one of the things they decide to pull over for, it's like, let's go to a tractor museum. And they all ride in a tractor. Like, oof. That's the type of fun I like to have when I'm on a road trip. Of course, with me, I just, would like to go to pawn shops and be like, "Hey, you got any gold video games?" No? You only got Mario Duck Hunt? Alright, see ya. Okay, so they go out for coffee, Brie and Nikki. And another alert, Dana calls is like, "Why are you spending $22 at the grind?" It's like, it's coffee, and it's expensive coffee, apparently. And there's the one thing I always add, she has an iPhone. Not the smartest choice, but whatever, I usually don't judge people for what they buy, but seriously, iPhone sucks, Android's the best. Anyways, she has like the default ringtone for Daniel when he calls in. I'm like, can you not? Is Zedge not a thing? Like, where's my? I don't have my phone here, but Android at least has an app called Zedge where you can search and download ringtones for free if you're not smart enough to make your own. And I'm like, why do you not put his WWE theme? And then you hear like, you can put the one with the yes, yes, yes in there too. It's like, oh, I know it's Daniel. Instead of the whatever that one is. I'm glad they didn't put in the default notification for messages that just brings up bad memories of the anonymous Raw GM. Which I saw the countdown on the network when they were doing top 10 GMs, and I think they put him in the middle. No one ever mentioned that it's just like, oh, it's all mysterious, and then it's just like, yeah, we wrote ourselves into a corner. We wanted this guy, but he said no to a contract, and we were going to make it this guy, but he said no. And then we just killed the whole thing, and then we brought it back for one night, and we're like, okay, Hornswoggle. It's like, if I was Lawler, he's like, Hornswoggle, you're behind this? It's like, I would have gave him a pile driver. I would have done the fist drop. It's like, you cost me my match at WrestleMania by reversing the decision. Fuck you. Anyway, so they're on the road. They don't have a hotel because they're far behind, so they end up shacking up at some type of bed and breakfast. That it's like, it's too late at night, we're not there, so we leave a key here. You go pick it up, you go into your room, and you stay there, and then you clean up after yourself. And apparently they're like freaking out because it was all dark and quiet and cold, and it was like an old-timey house, looked like a haunted house, but it was actually kind of nice. But there was like paper instructions, it's like, go up these stairs, 2 doors to the left, open up this key, and it was just like I feel like I'm in fucking Scooby-Doo right now. That was a nice house. Like, they did a night vision thing. Where am I now? Rose on a new date. She says, she's like, the reservation is under Diesel. I'm like thinking, wow, Kevin Nash is way too old for you. And he's married. Of course, I don't think I would put it past Kevin if he wanted to, tap that. It's just like, honey, I'm going to meet some old diva from the WWE. It's like, it's not Sunny, is it? No, honey. Nothing happened. It's not Pamela Anderson, is it? No, honey. It's not Jenny McCarthy, is it? God damn it, I didn't sleep with anyone. I think Kevin's lying. You totally tapped that. Well, probably not Pamela, because you already got ruined by Tommy Lee. But yeah, McCarthy? Yeah, you totally tapped that. Well, Sean probably tapped it. Well, he was probably tapping Sunny by then. You meet some dude on Instagram. It's got like, a 6-pack, and I guess it's not working out. Oh yeah, I forgot about the rocking chairs at the house. I was just like, Bray and the Whites must be staying there. Bray and Brian, still about the money. They had the red carpet. Now here's the thing. I'm 31 years old. I'm getting old. I'm getting old because when they were showing like these stars on the red carpet, I had no idea who the fuck any of them was. I recognized Taylor Swift a little bit, but I am just way out. I was talking to a buddy of mine last night about this because these hair and makeup commercials come on and they're endorsed by celebrities. I have no idea who the fuck these girls are. Like back in the day, it was like, okay, it's like, here's a commercial for, I can't remember the company, but it was like for like puffy red lipstick. I know who Mila Jovovich is. I watched The Fifth Element. I watched maybe part of a Resident Evil movie. I know who that is. I know who Jennifer Lopez is when she's hawking this. I have no idea who, I even caught the name. I'm like, it said actress. I was like, what have you acted in? What do I know you from? Nothing. That's what. This new crop of, actors and actresses that are coming up, I have no idea who the fuck they are. And Brian admits, it's like, okay, yeah, the dress was a good idea. You look good in it. just admit that you're wrong. John's stressed because they're way behind and they're not going to make it on time, and he's freaking out and yelling at everyone, and shit goes down in the car too because everyone starts arguing because it just kind of spills over. Now I kind of get that because like when I do road trips or anything, I'm usually the one that's doing all the driving. I don't care about getting the schedules on time or anything like that, but when you're driving for hours on end, it gets really monotonous and really boring. Especially with the laws now, you can't do anything while you're driving. I'm like constantly telling people, it's like, change the next song on the iPod. So I hate that. So Rose is pissed about men, so she decides to go to a gay bar. And Natty's just like, I'm uncomfortable. And I guess she leaves early. And Rosa stays to hook up with a chick. Excuse me. Everyone in the car calls it quits, and they're just like, alright, we're gonna hire a mover. We're in San Antonio, so we're just gonna fly the rest of the way there and get the movers to move everything. And everyone agrees. I thought they were gonna say, like, oh, no, it's okay. We can keep going. It's fine. And they're just like, no, we need to get the fuck out of here. You guys are driving us nuts. So Rosa apparently she's getting tired of dating guys and nothing happening, so she's gonna go to women. Good on her, because she's saying that she's been abused a whole lot. There's like a lot of abuse, and I think that's what the suspension was about before she went to rehab about a year and a half ago. So whatever makes you happy. Okay, that's it for my notes. That was part 1. So part 2, I'm gonna try and get through this as quickly as possible. Part 2 was more Natty TJ shit, where it was like, okay, we're going to go see a divorce lawyer to see what will happen. It's basically, we will decide who gets what, unless you want to decide that yourself. If you can't come to an agreement, we'll decide who gets what. You have 3 cats, so we'll decide who gets what cat, and there's a bunch of other shit. And it's going back and forth. They're living in separate rooms, and I'm just like, the whole time I'm looking at this, I'm just like, who in creative thought this was a good idea? Like, honestly, thought this was a good idea. So Eva Marie is still a little concerned about her dad, because I guess he's losing a little bit of weight there, and the cancer's kind of catching up to him. So she's dealing with that, and she doesn't really want to deal with it outside. But everyone's like, we're here for you, and they're just like, I don't want to bring this up, but thank you, but I just don't want to bring this up. Oh, funny thing is, JoJo made a small cameo, and they're just like, hi JoJo, we miss you. We're like, oh, I miss that girl. It's like, you don't. She's down at NXT sucking as a ring announcer, so just let her be. In fact, actually, last week, Brian Saxton did the announcing for NXT, and thank God he's such a better announcer than JoJo will ever be. And I kind of here's what's happening too, though. Monday after Raw, Justin Roberts got released. He's no longer the ring announcer for Raw, so there's talks about who's going to announce Raw tonight. Who's going to be the ring announcer? They're thinking of bringing Lillian Garcia because she just does SmackDown, and maybe bringing Tony Chimmel back. But there are talks that are like, hey, let's put JoJo on Raw. I'm like, no. Can you imagine listening to that high-pitchy voice for 3 hours? I know a lot of people are just like, oh, Justin Roberts got fired. What's the big deal? I'm like, trust me, ring announcing makes a big deal. Trust me, I've done it. I've done it for several years. It makes a difference who your ring announcer is and what they're doing. I mean, we had one in the beginning who was just like, blah, 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 blah. It's like, you gotta get the crowd excited. You gotta get them pumped up. You can't just be like, here's started. It doesn't work that way. So, if it's JoJo, I'm just gonna fucking, she's horrible. I'm surprised she hasn't quit. I mean, when they put Ricardo Rodriguez as a Spanish announcer, he was just like, when can I get out of my contract? And they're like, why? It's like, oh, I'm a wrestler. I want to wrestle. It's like, but we don't think you're a good enough wrestler. We want you to do this. And I was like, well, I want to wrestle. So they're just like, all right. So he quit, and he's just like, all right, I'm going to go wrestle now. I mean, some people will just take it. I mean, Alex Riley, I don't know why he decided that after he kind of buried himself by, shooting on John Cena, that he would just stick with being an announcer. I don't know. I mean, with Albert Tenzai, I don't know why they call him Jason Albert. I mean, if he's no longer wrestling, just call him by his real name, Matt Bloom. He's doing stuff at NXT right now, and it's like, you know, you've pretty much done everything. You've been wrestling for like 20, 25 years. Yeah, go for it. But like with someone like Alex Riley, who's just been like, you know, I think he was only like a year and a half, 2 years, and then like he said the thing he said about Cena, and then they just got buried. He was not on TV at all. Yeah, I went way off topic. So I'm trying to think. So it was the. Oh yeah, and Ariane and Vinny are looking for a house, and Nikki's doing the real estate thing, and showing them all the stuff. It's like, oh, here's this, and it's like, oh, I love it. How much? It's like 2.8 mil, and they're just like, how much money do you think I make? I'm like, not enough. You're a diva. You're a tier 2 diva. I don't know if you're making extra money off the TV show, but you ain't making enough in WWE to get by on buying this house. It was like, alright, I'll show you another house, and there was another one that was like 1.4 mil, and it's like, I love it, but let me bring Vinny, and Vinny comes in and says, oh baby, I love this, look at this. Oh man, the pool is nice, like a barbecue, and oh, look at the jacuzzi, man, this is nice. It's like, oh, how much for this, brother? I want to buy it. It's like 1.4 mil, and he's just like, oh, hey, I just gotta talk to Ariane for a second. Baby, we can't afford this, you crazy? I can't afford this, it's too expensive. And then they went to talk about the final plans. It's like, oh, we were thinking that you take half the commission or no commission at all so that we can save some money. And she's like, what's the point of me selling you the house if I ain't going to make money off of it? So they just get up and leave. But they make up on Raw, and it's fine. So after the divorce thing, Natty and TJ are still doing the whole fighting. She's throwing the shit on the lawn. It's like, you don't do anything around the house. Throws her clothes on the lawn. And Trinity's back for just this part. She's barely present in this, except for the whole, I'm bleeding out my cooch, and it might be that baby thing. And I can't have sex because I'm bleeding out too much. I don't know, maybe she's still bleeding. They're like, oh, you're not doing anything interesting. Oh, let's go focus on these people. So TJ moves out, and he's just like, I need to move out for a little bit, because we're just fighting all the time, and nothing's working. And he shows up on Raw. And Natty's like, what are you doing here? She's like, I'm working. They asked me to come in. She's like, I don't want you here. It's like you're mad because I'm not on the road, but now I'm on the road, you're mad. Like, figure something out. We need to do this cat and facts thing. This is my new gimmick. I'm going to put my cats on my tights and I'm going to talk about facts. It's like, I'm Natty's husband. Fact. I was trained in the Heart Dungeon. Fact. They got nothing else for me to do. Fact. I'm losing to Sami Zayn on NXT. Fact. Sami Zayn won't be brought up from NXT, unfortunately. Fact. I don't know what they're going to do with Sami. They need to bring him up, but they need someone to replace him with. I mean, those two New Yorker guys, Enzo and Big Cass, they can do it. I mean, they can teach a girl to wrestle in 3 weeks. You've seen this Carmella chick? Obviously, kayfabe, she's probably been training for more than 3 weeks, but still, the reality is, like, you're telling all the kids, like, you don't try anything at home, but hey, if you can train for 3 weeks, we'll put you on the active roster. Anyway, yeah, so they get mad and just like, they're yelling in front of everybody, and the only person there is Rob Van Dam in a WWE Network t-shirt, and he's like, whatever, that's cool. Sabu, where's the weed? Pass it around. Oh yeah, they also show the contract signing between Stephanie McMahon and Brie Bella, which after is like, I'm gonna tear your heart out, and she smacked Nikki. Okay, so spoil it, next week's the season finale, and thank God, like, I swear to God, I'm not gonna do season 4 Total Divas, that's it, I'm done. But, okay, there's no clip of this, but I want something to show either that Mark guy or Stephanie or somebody bringing the bells together. It's like, we're going to break you up and Nikki's going to turn heel and smack you. It's like, I want Nikki to be like, okay, why am I attacking my sister and not Stephanie when Stephanie was attacking me? She's like, shut up and do what we tell you. But it doesn't make any sense. Of course not, it's pro wrestling. Just do it. That's probably what's going to happen. Yeah, because like in this, like they do, like she hits her with the clipboard. Triple H pushes the table so that she pins Brie. They don't show Stephanie doing the pedigree on Nikki, but then like when she gets up off the table, then she does the pedigree to Brie. So it's setting up that. But yeah, like I want next week's episode to be like, yeah, here's yeah, here's the reason why you're going to turn heel, Nikki. Not making any sense. Oh, I think if this is the reason why, then oh god, this is bad. I glossed over they talked to Eva backstage about the whole like if you need to talk about your dad, we're here, and she's like, all right. But Jonathan goes on the road with her, and he gets bitched out. It's like, I think it's all right to talk about your dad. And she's like, I don't want to talk about it. I'm fine, so fuck off. And he's like, bitch, you never tell me fuck off. But they're like, oh, let's give her a bridal shower. That'll make everything better. And it does. And I don't know why. Why would Brian fight Summer Rae with all this shit that's happened? And she's sitting there just like, oh yeah, just like, whatever. She calls her dad and just be like, listen, I want to tell you I love you. And, we're here. And he's all joking. Oh god, I saw a clip of this in the premiere for like what was coming up. He better not pass out. Like, this would be so like, okay, he passes out at the wedding. I'm like, can we ever have weddings in wrestling that don't like have horrible endings, like Edge making out with Alicia Fox? Or what else? Oh yeah, Teddy Long just had a heart attack. He took too much Viagra and had a heart attack. So yeah. We're at the home stretch. Next week's the season finale, which nobody will watch because it's Hell in a Cell with 2 Hell in a Cell matches that have no title. No one seems to care that the belt's not on television anymore. I mean, you could argue back a couple years ago with The Rock. Yeah, he was gone for a little bit, but he still came back. Lesnar ain't coming back until maybe at least the Rumble. Oh god, that's gonna be like 3 or 4 months without the WWE title. Why did we branded the titles again? I know I've been the one that's perpetuating merging the belts, but I knew they were gonna put it on a guy that's not gonna defend it. Like, where's that? Not defending the title in 30 days, you're automatically stripped of it. Only when it's convenient. Well, I guess they never did Dean Ambrose, so whatever. So on the season finale, it's Eva and John's makeup wedding because they eloped, which everything seems to be going okay, but like I said in that preview, there's a possibility that her dad could keel over, because I didn't see him in those previews. Danny and TJ still have friction, and it looks like it's going to blow up, which they're trying to play this off in storylines, so expect to see Natty and TJ like arguing even more on that little 2-minute Raw match he'll probably have tonight. And the whole John Cena Nikki thing is coming up. It's like, she's still bugging him about getting married and having kids. And it looks like there's going to be a breakup. But knowing WWE and told Divas, it's a swerve. It's like there's no easy way to say this. And then it fades to black. Nothing's going to happen. They're still dating. I mean, come on. Like, you're going to be hard pressed. Well, I mean, Cena can get another guy. Nikki can get it. Or, sorry. Cena can get another girl. Nikki can get another guy. That's what I'm going to say. So, yeah. It's not happening. If it does, there's their shocker for the season finale. But, like, they've been on again, off again for so long. It might happen. You never know. He's kind of set in his ways about not having kids. Although, in this stage of his career, he should really consider becoming a part-timer. But no, he's like Hogan. He will never give up that spotlight. But he's kind of less of a cunt than Hogan was. Anyways, that's it for 8 and 9. I can't believe they're doubling up these episodes. They better not double up next week because I have Hell in a Cell to watch plus this. I ain't got time for that shit. So, y'all have a good one, and we'll see you next week.